Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to move forward with our 110 scrapbooking ideas and sketches. We're going to attempt another sketch, and again we're going to make it into a 2-page layout. So I wanted to mention, after filming the last video, the first one in this series, a viewer had mentioned to me that she thought that these sketches might already be out on the internet on Creative Memories blog, and so I went and took a look and did a little bit more research, and I was able to find several of the sketches online already on their blog. So I feel a lot more comfortable with showing you the sketch as I'm working, so that it'll make it a lot easier for you all to follow along. So that's pretty exciting. So they're not listed on the blog as, 110 scrapbooking ideas. It did take a little bit of research. So hopefully this series will keep us on track. And if I can, I'm going to try and go straight through all of them, but we'll see where the inspiration goes. So today we are going to go on to the next one. So here's the one we did in the last video with the house. And today we're going to move on to this sketch, which is on page 7 of the book. So let's talk first about the sketch and look at it a little bit up close and in detail. So at the top here, and this is why I'm so happy that they put the colored photo too, because you can see what they were talking about when they were they shade out a little bit of the area, but sometimes it's hard to figure out which one is pattern paper. Is it the same pattern paper? And you really can do whatever inspires you. But here they have about a 1/2 inch strip of pattern paper at the top, and then they repeat it down here at the bottom. They have some kind of border or border strip across the top and at the bottom. And then they have another piece of pattern paper back behind here. So this is about a 2 inch, and I'm guessing that that's going to be about a 2.5 inch. And then of course they cut out some circles, we can see, with the probably the custom cutting system, and put 2 photos. Okay, so I'm going to recreate the page very similar to this, and then I will make a complementary page on the other page, which will be probably, based on the photos I'm going to use, is going to be more of a grid style on the other side, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so you'll see I keep little notes here of what we need. So to do this page, we're going to need about 5 different pattern papers if you want to keep it very similar to what they have here. They have the yellow, the purple, they have 3 shades of purple, so 1, 2, 3, the yellow 4, and then the light blue 5. When I look at this sketch, it kind of is high energy sketch to me. I don't know if it's the colors that they used or the style with the circles and stuff. So I wanted to do a high energy layout as well. So what I decided is I will do one of my son's Taekwondo competitions. He was in Taekwondo for several years and had to do some competitions in order to earn his black belt. So that's what I want to scrapbook with this. I feel like this is going to give that energy. If you've ever had anyone does Taekwondo, you know that that's a high energy sport. So, okay, so I'm going to remove this for now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the sketch up in the corner of the video so you can follow along as we go through the layout today. So like I said, I wanted high energy, so I went through my collections and I came across this one called Shine Bright, and this is high energy paper, and so I thought this was going to be perfect for what I wanted to do today. So let's take a look. It has 4 pieces of paper, of pattern paper, and 1 piece of cardstock in this collection. It's a theme pack. Okay, this one is discontinued, so you can no longer order this one. But this one, I'm not so much concerned about the actual icons on the paper. I just want the colors to feel high energy. So we have this orange, and then we have polka dots that have red, yellow, and blue. This yellow light bulbs. Again, I'm not too concerned about the light bulbs. I just want that yellow energy. The light bulbs have energy too, right? So that's going to be perfect. Then I have this blue, it looks like clouds on a blue sky. And then it comes with the solid cardstock. Now, when looking at the sketch, we know it needs 5 pattern papers and a background piece, but I'm going to count the blue cardstock as my 5th piece of paper. So I'll have the 4 pattern papers and 1 solid cardstock. Okay, along with this collection, it also came with some stickers and some border strips, which turned out to be just perfect because I really like the zigzag of the yellow, and that kind of looks like a tournament banner to me. So I'm very excited that that was in this collection as well. So I'll be using this as the top border that we saw across here and at the bottom. Okay, so let me get out my paper cutter and we'll get started. Okay, so I decided I'm going to use a piece of plain white cardstock for my background, and I'm going to use the orange for the strip at the top and the bottom. So at the top it looks like about a 1/2 inch strip, so we'll go ahead and do that. And that'll go right up there. And then at the bottom, it looked like about a 2-inch strip to me. Or at least that's what I'm gonna do on my page. I'm gonna do a 2-inch strip. So I'm gonna go ahead and just work on the left-hand page right now, and then I'll bring out the right-hand page after we do this one. Okay, so next we need to cut out the strip that goes here, and for that I'm going to use the blue one that I think looks like cloud paper. And I'm going to do a 2.5 inch strip for that one. And it's going to go like that. Okay, now what else do we need to do? We need to get those circles cut out. So for the circles, let me bring in my custom cutting mat. And so for the circles, I'm going to do a solid blue one. I'm going to do a yellow light bulb, and I'm going to do the polka dot. Okay, I've decided I'm going to use the medium-sized circle, and I'm going to cut red on the outside because I think 3 of those will fit nicely on there. Okay, so we'll do the first one. Like I said, I'm going to use red on the outside. Okay, there's one. Let's bring that one down there. Then I'm going to do yellow. And then we need one more, and it's going to be the blue one. Cardstock, I'm going to have to push a little bit harder to go through the cardstock, right? Okay. If this ever happens to you, it usually comes off pretty easy, or you can just get a little pair of scissors and snip it. It's already cut. It's cardstock, so it was a little bit thicker. I'm going to put the blue one at the top, something like that. Okay, so here we go. And then what I'm going to need to do is figure out, down here will be the border sticker, and up there. So that's going to look fun, and that's going to bring out the yellow from that paper. And then here's the photos that I want to use. Let's scoot this out of the way. I think we're done with that mat for now. Let's scoot this back in. And here's the photos. So we have my son. It's going to go something like that. So I want to pull this one out a little bit more. So you see why it doesn't matter what the icon was. I just really wanted the yellow to pop out. Okay, so it's going to go something like that. That looks really good. Now for my So I'm going to put the border stickers here. I need something across here. And I'm thinking of using the new circle chain. I just want to see what it looks like. This is the new circle chain border making cartridge. And what I do is I make samples of them. So when I'm playing around on layouts, I just use my sample and trying to decide, is that what I want? And I kind of like that look of the circles. I feel like, for some reason, circles make me feel like the Taekwondo. So I think I'm going to do that, but I probably am going to punch one out of the blue cardstock. So let's grab that and see if that's what we want to do. I'll scoot that up for a minute. Get my border making system ready here. Bring back in our blue cardstock. Okay, so I'm going to slide it in, put the arm down, flip the guide back. I'm sure you've all seen this already. I'll just walk through kind of quickly as I go through. I've already inserted the circles and punch it out. Whew. Slide it down. You see I'm matching up these little notches. Once you move it down, you feel it kind of click in place. Those notches should be lined up. And I'll go on to the next one. Okay. Let's move out this out of our way. Scoot our layout back in. Okay, and it's going to look something like that. Yeah, I do like that much better. Kind of brings in the blue from that circle. Okay, I'm going to get this adhered down, and I'm going to get my border stickers in place, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I've adhered everything down. I went ahead and I wanted to put a white mat around my photos to help them stand out. All the colors on the page, my photos, I felt like they were getting lost, so I put the white mat around. And so to recap, I wrote down some of the measurements in case you're following along. So the top orange piece up here was 1/2 inch. And then at the bottom, this was a 2 inch. And then the blue pattern paper right here is a 2.5 inch. And I used here the new circle chain border maker for that. Okay, that's where we're at right now. Now, on the sketch, they have the title right here, and they have journaling tucked in between these. Okay, like that. And so that's kind of going to be my plan as well. Now, for the title, I was thinking there are 5 tenets, I guess you call them, in Taekwondo. So courtesy is the first one, integrity and self-control, and then the other 2 are perseverance and indomitable spirit. I want to put on the other half of the layout. Okay, so it's going to go something like this. So it's a pretty big title, and at this point I don't think I'm going to back it behind anything. I just want to leave those spaces there. I thought that would be a fun title. Maybe my son had to learn the meaning of those as he was preparing for his black belt. So hopefully that will all come back to him when he sees this page. And then for the second page, see if I could scoot this over a bit and you can still see it. Okay, now for the second page, and I'll move this first page out of the way when I start working on it. I have 6 photos that I want to use, and I was trying to figure out what size. So I wanted to show you, I made this clear template. I bought one of those clear cutting mats from the Dollar Tree. You get 2 of them in a pack. And so I bought them and I cut out cutting mats. So this one is a 4x4. So I was holding it up to see, you know, can I cut? This is my son right there. So I was like, oh, can I cut? And on all of these, I held it up there, and it's nice because you could see through it and see like what you're going to cut out of the photo. So I thought, okay, 4x4 works. But then when I went to put it on the page, 4x4 was a little bigger than what I wanted. So I decided on the 3.5 by 3.5. So again, I went back through and kind of looked, what am I going to cut off? Or is it going to be too much? And I think we'll be okay with the 3.5. So that's my plan as far as picture size. And then what I want to do is I want to do some kind of grid over here, and I have 6 photos, so I'll put a 6th one there. And what I think I'm going to do is mount them straight onto this second piece of orange that I have, something like that. And then I'll trim it, and I'm going to take the circles that I did over here and tuck them on to the side. So let's do that. Let's cut the photos, cut this mat, and see where we're at from there. Okay, let me go ahead and move this one out of the way for now. Bring in my personal trimmer. And we decided on 3.5. So again, I just want to position it. And I see down at the bottom, I can cut a lot of the floor off. Okay. Okay, there's the first one. Okay, so I paused the camera so I could cut out all those photos and not bore you with me cutting all those to 3.5 inches. And when I turned back on the camera, I must have pushed the wrong button because I inadvertently lost some footage. So and then I wrapped it up, and when I went to check it, it was in really fast motion. So I'm going to go ahead and explain everything that I did on this layout to finish it up. This is my completed 2-page spread, and you'll see that I did cut all the photos down to 3.5 and then mounted them on the orange to match the other side. I then cut half circles here to match the circles over here, but I just use half circles so I wouldn't waste any paper. I continued with my 5 tenets from over here, my 5 tenets of Taekwondo: courtesy, integrity, self-control, and then over here, perseverance, indomitable spirit, which I believe it means something like stand up for your beliefs or something. Then I added in some stars in 3 different areas, one little metal embellishment that I had. It's very hard to find Taekwondo embellishments, so and I thought there was so much going on here. I was gonna cut some stuff out on my Cricut, but then it's just already a busy page, so I thought I would skip that this time. I have plenty more Taekwondo pages to do. And then I added one sticker here that was from the sticker sheet in this collection that says Proud Parents, and added some stars there, and added my journaling box as well. So I'll journal in here about the day and what he was doing there. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I hope you're following along in the book. If not, I hope you give some of these sketches a try. It's really quite fun to try and to do the sketch, but then also to do the double page. So I enjoyed it, and I hope you come back and see what we do for sketch number 3. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.